As you guys know, you can go to the Discord channel, and in the Ask the Dev channel, you can ask stuff to the devs and they respond. And we sometimes go over some stuff that they have said in there, and that is what we are going to do here today, to see if there is something interesting that we need to take a look and we need to know in terms of the game. You know, there is always something interesting to know in here, brother. What is the collector's tokens limit? And Stephen says there is no limit. That is something cool to know. That is something cool to know. There is no limit. That is cool. You can hold your tokens forever until you find the card that you want. If you don't want to buy any bullshit card that you don't like and you don't want, you don't have to do it, because there is no limit for your collector's tokens, so you are not worried about it, brother. But there is a limit for the credits. In game, there's this constant sonar-like sound at all times after the latest patch. Can we please make this sound part of the music or give the option to disable it? I haven't heard that sound, so I don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah, this is a bug. That sound should not be going off like that. Well, cool to know that if it is happening to you and it is bothering you, it is a bug. So they are going to fix it apparently. But I haven't experienced that problem. Do you guys ever have plans to release a physical version of this game? No plans at this time. Of course, a physical version of Marvel Snap will be stupid. There is a lot of stuff going on in Marvel Snap that works because it is a digital game, and in a physical version will be too annoying to pull off, you know. The RNG, the order of the sheets, the fact that we both are playing at the same time, some weird stuff, even like Kang the Conqueror, you have to remember what was going on. It is annoying as fuck, dude. That sucks. That sucks. That was already nerfed. As long as they don't make more cards that put more shit in your deck, it should be fine, and it only works in one deck, so without the nerfing. And Null is hard to nerf, because what are you going to nerf? He's already at 0 power. He's already at 6 cost card. The ability is straightforward, and I don't think he needs a nerf. Maybe Darkhawk, but I don't think Darkhawk needs a nerf either. It's not even possible to do physical. Exactly, I agree completely. I use one card to be more accessible, man. You and everybody, brother. Everybody wants that, brother. I want to be excited for a new card. Same, brother, same. Well, today I am going to buy Stegron. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I don't give a fuck. I am just going to do it because I want to. Let me take my Destroy decks and spin in different modes. Yes, brother, we know you want different modes, my dude. What are you gonna do for cubes? I don't know for cubes. I am already an infinite. I am going to play a Stegron deck and have fun, brother. How are we? Yo, Willow Snapping, my dude. How are you doing, brother? Guys, Willow is here. We always watch his videos about this Dual Force. He also streams Marvel Snap if you wanna know. He's a friend of the stream. You can follow him if you want, brother. Make Null only have the power of cards destroy last turn. That's how you nerf it. Oh, but that is a huge nerf. Like a card killing nerf, you know. I don't even play Snap, and the card acquisition pisses me off. Oh, brother, the card acquisition in Marvel Snap fucking sucks, dude. I know another game with more accessible cards. Please, please release already. We have waited long enough, brother. DC, hey, guys. I know you are not watching this stream, but if one of you is here, please, dude, release the beta and give me one. Give me one key to the, if it is a closed beta. If it is an open beta, well, who fucking cares? Willow discovered the power of Hela plus Galactus today. Best deck in the game confirmed. So you try to Galactus early, and then you Hela the Galactus late and summon a bunch of shit on your lane and win. That is a good strategy. What happens if you discard Galactus or discard Hela? You fuck everything up, right? So There has been some confusion on this after the recent patch. Does America Chavez still prevent herself from being drawn early if some effect shuffles her higher up into your deck? I tried to force an early draw of Chavez with Crystal, but I could only get her to draw before 6 if she was the last card in the deck. Is that how she works now? Her functionality is essentially exactly the same as before. She just starts on the bottom of the deck now rather than in a random place. I believe this is kind of obvious, like pretty intuitive, but it is cool to know, you know. I was wondering if the team tracks what percentage of games result for 1, 2, 4, and 8 cubes. Adding to that, does the team track the same metric for individual cards? And it is a concern if certain cards deviate too far from the average. For example, using made-up numbers, if on average games conclude for 1 cube 50% of the time, but a certain card archetype results in games resolving for 1 cube 70% of the time, would that be considered unhealthy or problematic for the game? Thanks in advance. This is an value I track in the data, but it's something we consider in how we cost and design cards to make sure there's healthy tension around the gameplay. I believe the question was a good question, and I am not really satisfied with the answer. But what else can you do? That is the answer, brother. But it should be something that you track the data. You should track data for everything. Everything should be tracked, brother. Good try. I discovered the power of unwillingly donating cubes. It's technically not accurate to Chavez's text, but whatever. Yeah, they don't care about implementing their card text. See Captain Marvel's version. Bro, you know what pisses me off? When you have several Captain Marvels. And I don't know if that should work properly, but the fact that it doesn't work, I don't know, it pisses me off, you know. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. That if you have several Captain Marvels, they don't move as a combo, you know. They move individually. So if you need 2 of them to move to a location to win it, they are not going to do it because they think individually and they know and they think, oh, if I move by myself, I am not going to win the location, so I am not going to move. And to me, that pisses me the fuck off, brother. Technical limitations to make it work. He's just saying he doesn't tag. Oh, okay, okay. Are there any plans to add a similar feature for M'Baku that was implemented for Chavez? Nope. And this is a good question, but you know why they don't do it? Because that would make M'Baku OP, brother. Some people say because he will thin out your deck. So if you include M'Baku plus America Chavez in a deck, then you have basically a 10 card deck, and that would be too consistent and too overpowered, right? You can have 2 cards with the same skill, with the same ability in the game, because it will be insane in terms of consistency. So, but they can buff M'Baku in other ways, like giving him power, maybe, you know. Then Galactus would actually be good. Brother, there is a debate on Twitch going right now. People are going at each other's throats because some people say that Galactus is harmful for the game and he should be deleted and he sucks. And other people think that Galactus is fun and is cool and he's easy to counter. So they say that the other people are crybabies. So there is, well, there you go. I like Galactus. I am on Keep Galactus team. I think Galactus is fun. I don't think he's powerful. I think you see him coming 2 miles away. Some of the people that are complaining about Galactus know all these things, and they agree. But at the same time, they believe that even knowing it, it is boring. They believe that, well, I know Galactus is coming. If I have the answer to Galactus, I win. If I don't have the answer to Galactus, I lose. This is not fun. But isn't the game like that with every fucking card? Like when the leader was coming, well, I know the leader is coming. Can I win to the leader? I can't win to the leader. I retreat. When Shuri is the predominant Chet, do I have Shang-Chi? I don't have Shang-Chi. Retreat. It is the same against other cards. It is not just Galactus like that, in my opinion. But well, there is a huge Galactus debate right now. And what I am worried is that this creates enough of a wave to make Second Dinner change Galactus. Don't do it, brother. Galactus is awesome as he is. You don't need to do anything to him, brother. Don't fuck my boy Galactus. That was my first ever Series 5 card that I bought with tokens, dude. Don't do it. I am not in the debate, but I am not a fan. You think that Galactus is boring. You hate it when they Galactus you. I understand that perspective too, because you are trying to do your thing, playing cards around the lanes, and then they just completely shift the way the game is played. But that is, I know that is the reason why he's frustrating, but that is also the reason why he's awesome, you know. So I don't know, it is like very polarizing, brother. I tried countering a Galactus Null with a leader, but the guy played Destroyer and I got fucked. Galactus is fine. It's a very specific ability that is easy to interact with, and you somewhat telegraph that you're playing for Galactus. Yes, brother. You see Galactus coming from 8 miles away, brother. Auto win combos are fine in a snap. It's about cubes, bosses, a full house, auto wins in poker. Don't be cringe, brothers. Exactly. They can retreat if they don't have the answer. But exactly that they say that is boring. But again, I believe that happens with everything. Like you see a Mr. Negative, you don't have an answer, you also retreat. You see Sarah, you don't have the answer, and that goes onward and onward and onward, you know. Infinite cardbacks during the first season. During the first few seasons after global launch, the cardback reward for reaching infinite rank was totally unique. Lately, these cardbacks have been recolors of a cardback already included in the season pass track. Was this decision made from the perspective of development and resource allocation, or was it more to make players feel less excluded from this content? Don't justify it. They did it because they don't want to do a different one, brother. Either way, in fact, they were giving us a title because titles are easier to do. They are just a string of text, and they didn't get away with it. People were pissed off, so they had to bring back the cardbacks, brother. Either way, it's understandable, but I know I would personally be more motivated to make the climb every month if the reward felt more meaningful. Our goal is to thread the needle between players feeling excluded and providing something unique and cool to those that achieve it. We still feel like gold cardbacks are an awesome reward and achieving that goal. I don't give a fuck about the gold cardback, I'll be honest. Don't people on Twitter can realize that in a PvP game, what is fun for one person sucks for the other? Exactly. The thing that makes Big E worse is that animation. So sick of watching it, and I love it, brother. I love the Galactus animation. And by the way, I love it when I do it, but I love it also when the other player do it. But you know what is really fun? And I don't know if people know this, but you know what is really fun? And I have clips of me doing that and having fun. When you disrupt the other player's Galactus play, because you know Galactus is coming, and you just disrupt the play, and you fuck the triggering of the Galactus, it feels fucking awesome. It is so fucking fun, brother. Why do people don't enjoy that? Like, for example, Galactus is coming. I have initiative, I am going to play Debris, or I know Galactus is coming and I play Debris before, or if I have initiative, I just throw in an arrow, I throw in a Green Goblin, I fuck over the Galactus play. That is fun, brother. It is one of the most fun things that you can do in this fucking game, dude. And you just imagine them frustrated, pissed off because you disrupted the Galactus, and you feel satisfied, you know. So that is another thing why I think Galactus is fine, because I like destroying their Galactus play, brother. Any chance we can get an infinite Team Dog card back? Right now, Team Cat is heavily favored because they have the infinite card back. Brother, you don't have to be on a team here, brother. You can like dogs and cats. I like dogs more. And this is the objective truth. Dogs are better. But I like cats too. Cats are fucking awesome. Just because dogs are better, it doesn't mean that cats are good, you know. Cats are great too. You can like both. You don't have to be on a team, brother. I am a Team Dog person and I want it too. We made the tough call to only do one infinite cat for now, but I'm sure Cosmo has not had the last bark if we ever do a cat versus dog round 2. Team Cat, Team Dog. No, fuck that. It is the other way around. Incorrect, cats, dogs. I know that is the debate, not the Galactus one, the cats versus dogs one, brother. I will prove to you cats are better. Catwoman. That doesn't say anything to me. That doesn't say anything to me, because then you would say that bats are better because of Batman. I don't care. Yo, Vertigo, my brother. I hate this game too, brother. Team Dog, there you go. Team Dog, brother. I stopped playing the game actively for quite a while, a few months now. I thought about picking up the game up again, but I have to admit, the lack of progress I made means I'm now so much further behind than many of the other players. Not that I want a free way to catch up, but maybe a special bundle for players who haven't loaded the game up in a certain amount of time that could incentivize coming back. Such a nice token bundle for a steal of a price, it might get me back to playing. We want to do this in the future. Snap is still pretty new, so we haven't prioritized yet. Thanks for the feedback. Is there anything else that made you return to the game more fun or more challenging? I agree that they need a catch-up mechanic, but again, as he's saying, the game is pretty young. Do we really need a catch-up mechanic already? In other games, the catch-up mechanic is the crafting system. You can craft whatever is current. But you don't have a crafting system in this bullshit, and you have to climb the fucking collection track again. But now the collection track is longer. So they are building a huge host of problems for themselves with this stupid system. And I don't even want to imagine if this game lives enough for 2 or 3 years, how the fuck that is going to look if they don't make fundamental changes to the way the collection track works, brother. But we have talked about that a lot. So let's keep going, brother. Catwoman isn't a cat, though. But she kind of represents the cat, right? Cats are the devil on 4 legs. Yes, brother. They don't give a fuck about you. But they are cool, too. They are cool, too. I like cats, but I like dogs better. Give me more game mods and booster magnets so I can grind booster for cards I want to ink split. I want the game mods, but you know I don't really care about the ink splits, but I do want to target boosters because sometimes I get boosters for stuff that I don't give a fuck about. How many months since they mentioned booster magnets, hermano? Like December, I don't know. Catwoman is hot. Dog woman sounds like a bitch. Still waiting for the first edition badges. That is too hard to pull off, brother. Putting a small badge on a cat, that is too hard to pull off, brother. That takes away too many resources from the development team, brother. I play on a Pixel 7 Pro and there's a decent chunk of space at the top of my screen with just nothing where the game cuts off. Not sure if this is isolated to use the Pixel 7 Pro of the Android build in general, but wanted to know if there is any plan to make that game truly full screen in that sense. Thank you for redeeming this service, probably alright. Well, we don't care, but if there is someone on the audience with a 7 Pro thing, well, you are fucked because they are just going to look into it. They don't even know what the fuck is happening. Are there any plans to add cards or update existing cards to have a variable power or cost? For instance, X power or X cost. This could be used as a way to open the design space without always having to look at Mr. Negative. Since right now cards with variable cost power are generally 0 power or low power, which is beneficial when combined with Mr. Negative. Variable cost power cost could open up some interesting design space, and I am just curious if the team has any plans to implement this in the future. For clarification, I don't want this to turn into a Mr. Negative hate threat. That's not my point here. I think we'll explore costs that can vary with your available energy in the future too. Between on reveal, ongoing, and triggers like collector, we have all the tools we need for variable power. Mr. Negative doesn't really constrain us, and as his weakness isn't lacking strong cards to flip. Exactly, the weakness of Mr. Negative, if you know about the game, is that even if you ramp Mr. Negative, the earliest that you can do it is in turn 3. And he converts the cards that are on your deck. The cards that are on your hand are unaffected. So in reality, you are getting, in the best case scenario, 3 flip cards. The one you draw in the 4th, 5th, and 6th turn. If maybe you play Magic and that is just too much luck, and this is draw dependent. This is, you have to draw Psylocke and play her on turn 2 and then play Mr. Negative. He's draw dependent. It is hard to pull off. That is Mr. Negative weakness. And I have always thought that argument when people say no, you can reduce the power of something because that makes Mr. Negative stronger. I have always thought that is a bullshit argument. Fuck that. I don't care. Would the badge also get visual upgrades? I don't really know. Maybe they just make a badge for the first edition and that's it. But I don't know why they are taking so long to implement it. It's just an icon, brother. What the fuck is going on? Changing borders to another existing one is also very hard. Yes, and they have been announcing that shit. Not announcing. People have been asking for it for ages. Adding a PC where the screen is the hardest task known to mankind. Glenn is so base. Just draw a perfect hand every game. Easy. Exactly. That is the problem with negative, bro. That is the problem with negative. Is there any plans to have more simple pool 3 cards like Patriot, Destroyer, or Colleen Wing to go down to pool 2? Is there any plan for second dinner to host to have a custom card or custom variant challenge and the winner gets it in the game? That is a good idea. Have there ever been plans on a campaign where there's code the scenes and a specific date that you use? Not currently. The early series experience has been carefully curated and works very well. So we need a compelling reason to disrupt it. Yes, I don't think the solution to this is downgrading stuff to pool 2. It's just making pool 3 better or pool 4 better or stuff like that, you know. You don't really need to downgrade them in rarity, but making the experience of getting them better, that is all you need to do. Not at the present, but could be fun in case of the custom variants. Nothing more than individuals' idle thoughts right now. Okay. I've asked this before and onboarded by people. Changing a single card from a deck hugely affects the order of the cards you draw. I am playing like 1,000+ games in a season with 2 accounts, so I am almost sure about this theory. I have 2 different Patriot decks. One has a scroll and the other one doesn't. With a scroll, it's harder to draw Ultron. With my other deck, Ultron comes into my hand almost every game. Or it can also affect the order of the draw. For example, some cards has higher chance to start in your hand. The Infinite, the Iceman, and the Scorpion has very high chance to draw in the first turn in some decks. Please, I am really curious how exactly the random card drawing algorithm works. Brother, it is so funny to me whenever I read this type of comments, brother. People really think there is some kind of conspiracy with your drugs. Brother, if that were the case, I would have the #1 conspiracy that you always discard your Hela, brother. If you play Blade, you discard your Hela. If you play Swordmaster, you discard your Hela. But that is not the case, brother. It is just RNG, brother. It is RNG. And RNG is crazy because of the law of big numbers, the same outcome can come several times in a row and you think there is something fishy going on, but it is just random. That is exactly the reason why Spotify changed their random algorithm to not make it random, because when it was truly random, people felt that it was not random enough and they have to change it artificially so people remove their biases to feel that the playlist is random enough. So this is stupid that I have not read the response that Glenn is giving, but I guarantee you that what he's going to say is nothing impacts your draws, brother. You are insane. This is just pure RNG. He says, beyond Quicksilver, Domino, and America Chavez, cards are drawn randomly. They have no dependence on the presence or absence of other cards in either deck. Exactly. This is the logical, intuitive thing to say. But then these people say, no, brother, they are lying to us. There is a conspiracy in here to make you draw the cards. Why the fuck would they do that, brother? Why the fuck would they do that, my dude? People's ability to understand how randomness works is a challenge. The gambler's fallacy. I feel there's a conspiracy against me. I'm always facing the perfect counter deck regardless of what deck I play. These mother bitches hate me. That is another conspiracy that the matchmaking takes a look at your deck and they match you based on that, brother. There was a huge debate around that like 2 weeks ago. To be fair, you have to go out of your way to learn geometric distribution. That's college level math. The conspiracy theory that is actually true is how they match you with opponents playing the same deck category. Don't add me, it's true. That is the other conspiracy, brother. That is the other conspiracy. Oh, brother. Will we get the ability to revert card borders in the future? I have a cool Spider-Man variant that I want to return back to the red Ultra border. I think it looks a lot cooler than the Infinite border. Brother, every time that we do one of these Ask the Devs videos, someone asks for the ability to change the borders. Brother, just give it to people. People are not going to stop asking for this until you give it to them. And they say, we have plans to address this in a cool way related to infinity splitting. No EDA at this time, but it's on our radar. Of course there is no EDA. And brother, you already tried to fix this issue with the new infinity border. That, by the way, I love it. For me, it solved the problem. I don't want to change the border because I like the Infinity one the best. But for a lot of people, it didn't solve the problem and they still want to change the border. And instead of just giving it to them, you are just coming up with another fucking new thing. Brother, just give people the ability to change borders. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. How hard can this be to grasp, motherfucker? I guarantee that after you do that shit, if you don't allow people to just change the border like they are asking, they are going to keep asking for it. And I am willing to bet on that shit. Since there's a finite number of flares and backgrounds, I'm just wondering what the max number of a split is for a single card. If you can see if that max number of splits has ever been achieved by a player and what happens when that point is reached. We have the signs to expand on the Infinity Split system to give a lot of this kind of info and some other cool stuff. No EDA right now. We are focused on PC and Conquest. No EDA dinner, brother. No EDA dinner. I wonder what Second Dinner does when they're busy not doing basic shit for the game. Brother, they are laughing their way to the bank, brother. They are doing the classic strategy. Do as less work as you can and increase profits as much as you can. That is the strategy, brother. If you want to do that, go into the mobile game market, brother. And just laugh your way to the bank, my dude. Is there any plans to add a shop section for cosmetics like avatars and titles? We want to do this, but no EDA right now, brother. At this point, he just does it. He just does it for the meme, brother. He knows that this shit is a meme, and he just goes with it, brother. He just goes with the no EDA meme because this can't be true, brother. We have other priorities at the moment, dude. Swimming in the pool of money, exactly. I live in America. We pride ourselves on how dumb we can be. Do you expect us to be able to do basic math? Oh, brother. Is Servant Bro laugh? Yes, brother. He's laughing a lot right now. That's another conspiracy. People have to spend credits boosters to go all the way around to the border they want. Keeps people playing and spending in the game. The development man has been pretty bad. They've had on rank mode in development since December, and we still don't have it. Brother, and they don't have things in concept that they should have. Why don't you have the draft mode on concept? I understand if you have other priorities, but you aren't even thinking about the draft mode. Not even enough to just put it in the custom. Oh, we are on the concept, sorry. We are thinking about the draft mode, but we don't know. Why? Just put it in there. You are not working for it. You are just in a concept phase. The current priority is the PC widescreen stuff and Conquest, right? Exactly that, exactly. EDA is all they can really say, no? Yes, it is all they can say. The problem is that they have been saying that shit for a lot of things, including the things that they have already announced. For example, the first edition batch. I don't give a fuck about the first edition batch. But when are we going to get it? No EDA. And they announced it. Nobody asked for a first edition batch. They announced it because they wanted people to get excited to buy Series 5 cards. But where the fuck is the first edition batch? No EDA. That is when it turns into a meme, you know. And then they repeat it with every fucking shit in the game. And you know what other thing doesn't have an EDA? PC widescreen. And that is a priority. But we don't have an EDA for the PC widescreen. But we do have an EDA for the Conquest mode. That is the only thing that we have an EDA. It is for June. So that is why it is a meme. They have a lot of shit in development since December, exactly. You can go back to playing a background. Okay. Is the team happy with how the fast upgrade system is right now? Yes, because it seems weird that it asks for extra of the time-gated resource credits in exchange for the non-time-gated resource boosters. Surely it would be better to pay extra boosters to cover for missing credits. The fast upgrade system's primary purpose is to help players that gain more credits and boosters. Who is that? Who is that, brother? Those players need a way to stay below the credit cap. We have had tons of discussions about this feature internally for a long time, and overall we think it doesn't totally hit the mark, but we haven't landed on a solution we like better to achieve the original goal yet that doesn't also introduce other new issues. I'm sure we will change it at some point once we discover a better solve. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody earns more credits than boosters. Only one group of people, and this will happen to you if you do this. Create a new account, and at the start of the game they give you a bunch of credits all at once. When you are starting out the game in a new account, they give you credits, and since you are new, you have not played enough games to have enough boosters to spend all of those credits. But with enough playtime, you will get there, and you will get to the same point we all are, where we have a lot of fucking boosters and not enough credits. So this system is there to bait new players into wasting their credits for fucking boosters. That is the reality, motherfucker. And I am not going to change my mind about this, because that is exactly the reason this is in there. Because the only group of players that get more credits than boosters are new players that are just starting out. And since they don't know how this shit works, they say, if I wanna keep increasing my bullshit, I have to get these boosters. And they go and they waste their credits. This is a bait, motherfucker. First edition badge does not increase functionality. People want to be able to actually play the game. Why does it matter if a card has a badge on if 3/4 of the player base can even acquire the card without the badge? Exactly, I completely agree with you, brother. I agree with you 100%. I don't give a fuck about the badge. In fact, when they announced the badge, I was pissed off, because that means if you are developing a badge for the first edition, if you buy a card into Series 5, that means that they are not planning to change the fact that new cards are released into Series 5, which in my opinion is fucking stupid. Releasing every new card into Series 5 sucks. If you want to release one into Series 5, do it. But the other ones given to me in the Series 4 and Series 3, do it dynamically. But every new card into Series 5 sucks. And they introduce in the first batch edition just means that they are planning to keep doing this. So yes, to me this is stupid. I don't give a fuck about the batch. That doesn't give me an edge in the game. I just want to play the game. What I am saying is that they announced it like 5 months ago, and they haven't implemented, you know, which is fucking stupid. And now there are some people that are excited about it, you know, because they said, oh, I bought my shed on Series 5 and I don't have my first edition badge. Me personally, I don't give a fuck, but I understand if someone else cares, you know. Great first impression to keep you going and stab you real hard when you get to the late game. Resources are so scarce later on, boosters that is guaranteed to go to back. Well, literally nobody has more credits than boosters unless you are talking about cards the player wants to upgrade specifically. For example, I have more credits than boosters for cards I want to upgrade. Exactly. There is no one with more credits than boosters. So that is the problem. The only way this happens is when you are just creating a new account, like the first day you have an account. Because they give you a lot of credits at once and you haven't played enough games to have boosters. So it is a bait for new players to buy boosters. That is completely what is happening here, brother. And I know this because it happened to me when I created a second account that I am not playing. I just played it for like a week. And I had like 8K credits and no boosters to upgrade anything. Not only the cards that I wanted. I didn't have any fucking boosters because I was not playing the game all the time to get boosters, you know. So I imagine that that can happen to a new player, and they get baited to buy the fast upgrade because they don't know that they are going to have infinity boosters in the future because they are new players. So it is a bait. In my opinion, it is a bait. No EDA for something they announced that no one cares about. So how long do we have to wait for something we actually want, like being able to change borders? Exactly. Right now, booster acquisition is random for one card out of the 12 at the end of the game, or by buying them in the shop. Getting boosters to upgrade a specific card is difficult. You can play more than 12 games without getting any for that card, and the shop is almost useless for that, as it's a very slim chance that the card you need is there. Will there be any changes anytime soon, like selecting half of the deck to get targeted for the boosters? A couple patches ago, we added the ability to target a card at 2x rate. It still sucks. You can still go like 20 games without hitting the card, brother. If you need more boosters to upgrade it, we are discussing additional ways to improve boosters targeting and upgrading, but no ED rate right now. And this is something that people want. Even at 2x the rate, it is still really low, brother. It is still really low. Because I have tried it, and it sucks. You can go 20 games without getting boosters for the card that you want. Since Second Dinner has a smaller thing, I was wondering if there was any location in the office where you can't hear Ben Broad's laugh. I can still hear his laughter booming after work too, and I live in another state. That is cool. A good interaction in there, a cool interaction. Hi, is there a rough frequency for how often you expect to do a new variant rush? Or is it based more on holidays, movie releases, or random? We currently do not have plans for another variant rush. After watching Sentiment and Daylight primarily drop everyone to catch a horde. The whole system drives everyone to catch a horde, brother. Because you wait for the series drop if you are smart with your caches, brother, or reserves. So the whole fucking system does it. It is not only the variant rush. We still want to have fun events like that, so we are game planning other ways to do it that aren't tied to the collection level track. Bro, I've been yelling at my phone on the cheater. Went down from 98 to 95 in like 15 minutes. But just won a few games and an IQ, so I'm back to where I was. Gotta stop raging. Exactly, brother, as we told yesterday. You go up, you go down. That is how the game works, brother. You just keep going. That's how winning is done. How much you can take and keep going forward. You know, we just keep going until we do it, brother. That is how we do it. That is how we do it. Just don't tilt, brother. Just don't tilt. Hi, is there a rough frequency for how often you expect? No, I already read that. Will you be able to complete quests and earn season pass experience in Conquest mode? I would assume yes. Yes, you can complete daily and season missions in Conquest. You will also gain season pass experience the same way you do in Ranked from turns played and locations won. You will also gain boosters the same as Ranked play. This is good to know. It was kind of obvious, but it is cool to have it 100% confirmed, you know. Is there any plan in the future to either decrease the price of Ultimate variants or have a similar series drop for Ultimate variants and regular cards have, allowing their price to slowly decrease? No plans right now to decrease their price or downgrade them. They are meant to be premium variants, and we want to do more to differentiate them from rare and super rares in the future. Brother, my favorite variant in the fucking game is the Ghost Rider one that he's on the horse, and that shit costs 5k tokens, brother. I am not going to buy that shit, but it looks cool. It looks cool for sure. I can say to you that. That was only 4 cubes away and then eventually 20 plus. Yes, brother. And we climb back and got to infinite, brother. That Ghost Rider and the Cable ones are my favorite. The Cable one is really cool too, but again, paying 5k tokens for a variant and for Cable. Ooh, brother. With both the weekly and daily quest bars being able to be filled up by the end of Friday and no weekly quests coming out over the weekends, it can lead to the weekends feeling pretty dull and like very little progress is being made in collection level and season pass level. Are there any plans to add stuff for people to do over these dry spots? We have noticed this too. We are working on something to make weekends more exciting, still designing it, so not ready to share more yet. How are wins calculated in Conquest mode? We are still iterating on number of wins necessary on a Conquest run while we play test internally. So when they announced that it was going to be 3 wins to go to the next tier, they aren't still sure. They might change that yet. Okay, good to know, good to know. To make the Earth Day bundle more impactful and appealing, it will be beneficial if a portion of the profits went towards a related cause. This will give customers the satisfaction of knowing that their money is going towards a good cause. As a suggestion, perhaps for future bundles like Earth Day, it will be helpful to consider supporting the actual cause. We wanted it to go to charity, but did not line it up in time. Definitely on our radar to do a charity bundle in the future. This is true, brother, because let me tell you, if you create a bundle called the Earth Day bundle, people are going to think that it is because of this and they are going to buy it. But no, you are just hoarding all the fucking money. So you are exploiting the Earth Day cost to make money. It feels weird to me. It feels weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I am just too ecstatic and paranoid at this point, you know. Can we maybe get an auction to pin the weekly card? That spot is dedicated to the new card of the week, so it needs to be able to rotate. After Jeff leaves the spotlight, he will be available in the Series 4-5 section where he can be pinned. I agree with this. This is the way it should work. The weekly spotlight is just for the card of the week. You can pin that shit because that is how it works, bro. That is how it works. I agree completely with this. Even I don't like the token shock, but that is how it should work, you know. There was a question the other day asking about future variant rushes, and sadly you said there are no plans to do so because it led to cache reserve hoarding. This seems to imply that cache reserve hoarding is not something decided by the deck team. However, a lot of players who are Series 3 complete, what are you saying? What are you saying, brother? Hoard their reserves as a way to ensure they can immediately get the new cards that are series dropped each month. Have you all discussed this, and do you have an opinion? Have you considered spreading out series drops throughout the month like you do new releases? Series drops are tied to patches for technical reasons, or they will be spread across the month. We will keep taking steps to remove and avoid reasons to hoard caches with our future changes and features. When they say stuff like that, I always assume they are going to change it in a way that fucks us in the ass, you know. I never think they are going to change it in a way that is beneficial for us. Oh, brother. Currently, there is no difference between playing the game for a couple of minutes or couple of hours, especially after reaching infinite. Previously asked question about increasing the mission amount or changes to have anything to do on weekends has been answered. But what is with people that like to play the game versus couple minutes? Any plans of changing that to look forward to? The upcoming Conquest game mode naturally caters to players who like longer sessions as it uses battle mode. That is true, and that is why I say that I will probably like Conquest mode, and I believe Conquest mode is cool, and I will probably have fun playing Conquest mode. But since it is a mode that caters to players that like longer sessions and that are more competitive, this won't solve the problem of having multiple game modes for people that want a more casual experience and are asking for an unranked mode, you know. They will still be complaining. That is what I'm saying here. Will the design balance team be open to sharing some of the attempted balance changes they did to a card that didn't work about those what didn't work about those attempts, and how what they iterated to the solution that made it to production? I don't know, bro. That seems weirdly written. We might discuss it in a future patch and ODA updates, but it's not often super interesting. One reason we might hesitate is that in testing rewards, we often find designs that would suit a new card better. Our process is usually identifying the bounds of what we can do with numbers to evaluate if a solution exists there, and if not, we start trying minor reworks. I agree completely with everything he's saying here, because yes, you first try to adjust the numbers. If that doesn't work, then you try a minor rework. If that doesn't work, then you go with the big rework. But of course, it might happen that thinking for reworks, you come up with an idea that you say, oh, I don't want to give this shit to this card. I am going to give it to a new card. I understand that completely, brother. I understand that completely. Any plans to bring a Snap to the Nintendo Switch? We want to do this in the future, but no EDA. Yo, Forrest, my brother, how you doing, my dude? How you doing, brother? When you improve Ultimate variants, are you going to give the same treatment to Season Pass and bundle variants, particularly for the expensive bundles? If we're trying to decide whether to buy this, it's important to know whether the one variant in $100 bundle, like the upcoming collector bundle, will be getting the premium makeover in the future. Bundle and Season Pass variants are typically super rare. If a specific variant was an Ultimate instead, we will call that out and give the appropriate treatment. So you paid $100 for this shit and it doesn't even have a custom effect. Get fucked in the ass, brother. I know that leader copies the card with the highest power before calculation if it's unrevealed, and the highest after calculation if the card is revealed. But how does this work if a card is modified by Bass or Mr. Negative? Because the card has already gotten a new value, but is that value valid yet? Also, the devil only lets me look at a card I click, I believe he's saying in here, and that card shows the calculations, but it does not show the value of the card itself. So it's difficult to know what card leader will copy. Is the big view lacking a total intended? We currently have a bug that inspecting a card, big view doesn't display the modified power, and we'll get it adjusted soon. That is good to know because that is something that we need to know, the power that the card has. Leader should see the modified card either way in the case of negative or bust cards, as that change precedes if the card changes sons. That is good to know. And yes, it would be cool if they fix the bug, you know. Are there any plans to buff the thematic Shuri plus Black Panther interaction so that there's actually a reason to use him instead of Red Skull? Brother, I use Black Panther in my Shuri deck, brother. And I like playing more Black Panther than Red Skull because Black Panther doesn't have a drawback. He gets more power without giving power to the opponent. The problem is that Black Panther can be fucked over by a Cosmo or something like that that prevents him from triggering the unreveal ability. That is a problem with Black Panther. I don't foresee us reworking any of these cards with the goal of specifically making unmodified Black Panther the best Shuri target, as his design encourages more help. We may make balance changes or release new cards that influence the dynamic in the future, of course. I like that idea. I like that answer, brother. I like that response. Switch would explain the data mine controller stuff. Oh, true, cool. That Ghost Rider and the cable ones are my least favorite. Yo, Bailey, you are just doing it to troll us, brother. You are just doing it to troll us. Don't listen to Bailey. The Ghost Rider one is the best one. They should make cards without art so I can have my favorite artists draw unique art on them. Does Super Scroll not activate at the end of the game if it's not necessary? Had someone play Iron Man and my scroll didn't copy the effect, but I still won. That is weird because I played yesterday Super Scroll against an Iron Man in the last turn that way and it triggered and I copied the Iron Man and I won. In fact, that was the game that I reached infinite with. Doing exactly that, brother. And by the way, people, Bailey and the Cosmic Beard are some long-time viewers of mine, and they also stream from time to time if you wanna check them out. They are cool people, brothers. They are cool people. By the way, that emote that Cosmic Beard did there, that is Bailey. That is Bailey. They say they plan controller support for a while, though. Exactly, they have said that. But yeah, ensuring parties to an eventual Switch 4. Yes, I believe that even on your PC, you will be able to play with your controller. That is what I think they want to do, my dude. King Jacinto Null isn't actually real. You're hallucinating it when you watch other streams. Where are we at? I was wondering if there was someone I could talk to about adding accessibility options for the game, like extended or time freeze for low vision players, colorblind modes, or a read back function that reads you your cards and locations when they appears. We love to hear ideas, suggestions for ways to make Marvelous Snap more accessible. This is definitely something the team talks about regularly, and we love to prioritize time work that will be most impactful to the community in this space. This is a cool idea. I hope they do it. This makes the game objectively better, and it includes more people to play the game, so cool in there. Let's hope they do it someday, you know. What's your favorite animal variant? I love them all, but there's a special place in my heart for Jeff and all of his variants. By the way, talking about animals and variants and stuff, fuck Spider-Ham. The new card that is coming, that is a pig Spider-Man, a Spider-Man. Fuck that little bitch. Hi team, with the changes made to the token shop to have a weekly spotlight, what happens to that slot the first week of the season when the Series 5 card in the season pass card? The previous season pass card. Okay. The previous season pass card. Yes, instead of getting the new, since there is no new card that is going to be featuring the weekly token shop, they just show you there the last season pass. Okay. Still stating that King Nimrod takes everything in me to not be seduced by his beauty. Spider-Man did nothing wrong. Existing. That is what he did. Existing, brother. The card back this season for Team Dog looks great. Just wondering why the deck team chose Cosmo over Lockjaw as the Team Dog red. Has Lockjaw not been a good boy? Lockjaw is a good boy too. He kept teleporting in trophies that we had to clean up at key moments leading into the Team Dog captain election. Lockjaw was pulling ahead before Trophy Gate, but Cosmo put a collar on the victory after that. Cool little interaction, okay. With the more frequent patches and balance changes where those can sit on the priority list, I hear and seen a lot about him being underwhelming for a big bad, especially compared to other game changers in the category, and wonder if the decks felt the same way about it. Is his impact on the game what you expected, and are there any plans for future buffs? We're happy with Kang. Our goals for future big bands don't require them to create or contribute to top decks in the metagame. Big bags strive to fulfill the fantasy of their character, and our priorities are making that exciting to see and novel to play with. It's just a natural consequence of those goals that a big bad often creates or complements a competitive deck, and we consider that a nice bonus for players who enjoy the card. Brother, I have to tell you, I like this response. I agree completely, and I have said to you guys before that I don't think that the big bad category is because of lore reasons or is because of power reasons, but it is because of the craziness of the mechanic, brother. Is the balance team happy with Electra? It feels like even when we have some powerful one drops on the meta, Sunspot, Titania, Ebony Mono, other one drops with Patreon, she still doesn't appear as a tech card on the meta. Is she supposed to be one of those earlier cards that are not meant to be that viable, or is she supposed to be a legit tech card even when players reaches high collection level? It's less that her explicit purpose is to be limited to the early player experience, and more that we don't want to disrupt that experience for the sake of competitive Electra. At 1-2, we believe she'd be strong, maybe too strong, but she's actually already quite strong in that early metagame, so a buff would impact that environment a lot more. Brother, well, a 1-2, I don't know if she would still be competitive. I would be fine with a 1-2 Electra. What is the first step? Do you usually think of an ability and then try to find a character it matches, or do you find a character and then make an ability that matches them? For individual cards, it happens both ways. We have a list of cards ideas we like, and we also identify characters and try to generate new ideas that suit them creatively. Usually, we check the existing list first just to see if there's an easy win, but the way we refill the list is by generating the new ideas, so it's kind of a cycle. This is completely true. Sometimes it goes one way, sometimes it goes the other. There is no way of knowing, brother. And yes, we are up to date with the responses that they have given, and this is fucking cool. There were some good answers in here. There were some dots in there, of course, but well, we are up to date and we know what they are thinking right now.